Hello and welcome back to RailRoads Online. So today we are here getting underway on Aurora Falls. This was our starting locomotive. We did go with the Montezuma, and obviously you start with the two stock, two pieces of rolling stock for logs. The Craig Company car, so this is kind of what we were running, turned around and did add a bunch of logs. So we do have the logging camp and the depot. Haven't really run anything down to the logging or to the sawmill, so that's going to be where we're getting going today. Going to go take out and look at the sawmill route, but we did run a lot of stuff to the depot. I have to say, credit, we had 5 guys running and really just ran a ton of loads and didn't stop. Added a bunch of rolling stock. We did get up in tier quite a bit, obviously, so we did throw a caboose on to start. We are going to be starting this railroad a little different than we normally do. Usually we run pretty small scale until we really get going. This one we obviously have decided to go bigger as we were really trying to just step things up. So we will take a little run down our short little stack of cars here, I guess, laughingly, and take a look at our new locomotive. So we did run that thing all the way up to tier 9, which in the process made us an absolute boatload of money, and we won't really have any concerns there. We did just barely tip out at level 9, and then we stopped. Our goal was just to get to the new C125, or the class 125. So that was our goal, and that's, brings us to this, which is where we are. So this is our first of the new locomotives. We did go with the worn out paint scheme. Theory there is, we got it at a bit of a discount, let's just say, because it's a little worn out. So that's just kind of what we're going for. New railroad, couldn't really afford to go crazy, so this is what we got, and hopefully it lasts long enough to get it done. That's just kind of the idea with it there. But gonna turn around, taking a good look at this locomotive. Have to say, when I first saw it, was not the hugest fan of the weathered, worn out kind of look. But this one actually does come out looking pretty good. The more and more I've seen it, the more and more I like it. And it's gonna be kind of nice to have one retired as you wore it out. And this is gonna be a perfect candidate for that. So that's kind of going to be the deal there. So just taking in the sights there on the class 125. Got the green paint on the inside there. So we'll get that. Let's kick that open. Open up some windows. Get everything going. Coal. Not sure I totally love the coal in the tender. This pile of coal could look better than it does. I think some of the other piles of coal just do look better than that one. Not picking on it, not saying it's bad, but piles of coal, pain in the butt, I am sure. Absolutely stunning locomotive, though, I have to say. Super cool. Hopefully it's going to be as powerful as it should be. This is going to be our first run out of the block with this one, so hopefully it can handle doing the cars and handle the grade. That is our little layout so far going here, so we'll just have to see what we see, and hopefully it gets it done. It's going to be a heck of a long train. 18 cars and the caboose is what's in this one for those interested. So definitely a little different way for us to run in than what I think we're accustomed to. Do have to say I like the wood there. Roof look. The more this thing is in different light, I think the better it looks. I think the roughest this one actually looks is sitting in the shop when you go to buy it. That's the thing. I don't think this paint scheme is the greatest when it's in there. Once you get it out in the world and actually see it, it's a much better looking paint scheme, I do have to say. One thing we noticed yesterday is just how huge the cab is compared to John. Awesome to see that for a change. We've always been way big compared to our locos, and now we finally are not. That's just So cool. I still can't say enough. Absolutely digging the update in every way so far. A few little things here and there, have not had any major bugs. Had decent performance with 4 and 5 players in the server yesterday. Nobody reporting any popcorning at all. A little bit of shaking of the cars, you know, a little bit of moving around, but nothing major in any way, shape, or form. So looks like performance has definitely increased some there, and we were playing with people who were on, you know, playing Wi-Fi and everything in between, so whatever. It seemed like everybody had pretty good performance, so interesting to see how that's going for everybody else, but it has been going decent there. So, oh, there we go. Crank up the generator. That's going to get us the headlight on the front and the tail light on the back there, so that's cool. Generating some power. Don't really need it. Suppose we could actually just take a look at everything. Alright. Probably slow this thing down. We're starting to cruise. Just a nice looking loco. Huge and chunky. It's the big everything. There we go. We'll get a good look at things after we get set uphill. I know we have a switch in here. Obviously, the track being new, not really looking to go turn around and miss the switch if I can help. Of course, I guess we still actually have a little bit of a ways to push now. This is kind of the highest that we got anywhere. Probably will look to swap out this stonework here with a little bit of bridge work just to clean up the look of it, I think. Probably bring it down a little bit. Might be able to just bring it down and not even have to change it. Otherwise, a little bit of bridge work, I think we could clean that up. Can see we do have trussels running over there on that side. We'll get there shortly. Fairly bit of a long run all the way down to the sawmill, quite frankly, from the depot. So that's a bit of a trip. Not that you really actually need that trip, and we definitely could cut this up to the logging camp, but the main goal was really to get track in from the sawmill to the logging camp, and then, you know, we ended up having to get down to the depot really just to make money after we decided we really wanted to just step up and go with a big loco, go big cars, big everything else, just to you know, hit this layout just really hard. The map is much bigger. That looks a little woof. We'll have to actually clean that up a little bit. Get that done. Obviously, at this point, we're just kind of roughing in, trying to find the path and where we need to go. So we definitely will be smoothing some things out along the way. Obviously, adding decoration and stuff like that. But at this point, just honestly trying to find the path. Although now we'll be a little less pushed, we definitely can make some money and get going. We have a loco, we have the money for the rolling stock and stuff as it comes, so it'll just go nice. Again, I can't say enough to the guys in the Discord for helping run loads. We did not use like RailRoads Extended or Studio. Wasn't even sure if things like that would be working yesterday. Plus, I quite frankly have never used them, so that's just kind of not an option for me, but we did run a ton of stuff courtesy of the guys from Discord. I do have to say, again, hats off and a big thank you to them. Without them helping run loads, there's no way would have got through that. Did take a couple hours for sure, to say the least. But definitely got in some time on the new map. So that's cool. Alright, we can probably turn those off. Visual effect fun there. Looks like the rail from here is good, so we'll just have that one switch on the way back. But that should at least let us just kind of chill here and take a look at the loco as we make this I know how Montezuma has been handling this. I do not know how this new locomotive, if it's going to hit anything. It definitely is wider. I mean, this is the first loco that really sticks out past the ties. So going to be a thing to have to watch is where those cylinders actually have a hitbox out too, for sure. Hopefully we got everything wide enough, but definitely going to have to start making the track. We might run into a problem actually at the docks up there with this loco. I don't know. This thing might just be too wide for our docks. So now that I'm looking at it, before I just go zooming up there like a crazy person, we're gonna have to take it easy on the way into the stop, because this may not work. The more I'm looking at how wide this, I really didn't realize that that thing's that wide. I guess it doesn't stick out for the whole. Like, there's a spot that's close. We definitely had plenty of room. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to see. There could be some really close spots for sure. Let's see if we can get some good looks here at the running gear on the loco. Probably actually have to go ahead and give it a little bit of juice. Sounds like it's bogging down. Definitely pounding along though. There we go. Good look at the running gear. Again, can't say enough about the model. The class 125 is just a class above and beyond. Really great work. Can't wait to see what else is coming. You know, now really this is super cool. I think this is a great looking model just from my perspective. And like I said, this is probably my least favorite paint scheme from it. Although this is going to start to grow on me, I think. The more you see it in the light, the better it gets, I think. I really was a little, I was not overly impressed with it, I'll say, when I saw it in the purchase shop, but running it in the world is just, it's getting better. Can't say it enough. That is awesome. Alright, hopefully our caboose comes around the corner sometime soon. Looks like this thing isn't going to have too much of a hard time chugging the load. I think we can easily accelerate. Yeah, for sure. So, that's going well. Beast of a locomotive. See if we can still accelerate. We can. Yeah, so plenty of power in there. And again, that's 18 cars in a caboose. So definitely going to get the job done there. Be perfect. Our nice old worn out logging locomotive. It's pretty good. Biggest loco in the game to start. Never really pulled that. Closest I've ever done to that's the consolidation. Like the Cook consolidation did run a layout mainly starting all with those. And so that was an interesting way to go. This is going to be that times a lot. So everything should be full-size trains. I think if we got everything right, this should give us a little bit more than a full pond of logs. That's kind of the deal. So we should be able to get 100 logs, more than 100 logs, honestly, in a load. And that was kind of the idea behind it. I think we'll be at like 108 logs or something like that was the number. Should make things nice and easy. I have to say, taking it to map, this thing is incredible. Like it was pointed out by some of the guys, you know, when you look off into the distance and you figure that, like, you know, we actually have industries that are up there, and it's so cool to see because it looks like, you know, those mountains are just so far off in the distance, yet we're going there. So the map is, you know, it feels gigantic at this point, I have to say. Here is our most extreme bridge, but we did go with the shortest, and it all sticks and splanted, so it came out fairly decent. I don't have too many complaints. We definitely could have gone steeper and got down faster, but we wanted to keep everything light at the time. Really, there was no plan to go after one of these, and then it was like it was going to be too much work to go after one of these, and then the guys were all just kind of like, "Hey, get it, you just go for it." So, you know, there we go, we got it. Helping hands made it great. Love the little rock field in here. Have seen it, I think, in more than one place. There is like just some sexually dropped rocks. Way super cool. Just some really nice features. Even like the big open expanses are just cool to see. This map so far, absolutely zero complaints. I've heard. Like I said, I know there's a few little bugs here and there in the game, but it doesn't seem like anything that's all that crazy, especially for this big of update. So things are looking good. Super cool stuff. Alright, let's just max that so we know what we're doing. These nice big rocks, those are new gigantic rocks that, yes, can be broken up out of the way. I'm pretty sure you still saw them out of the way, but you do have the new speed wheel. If you hold down your mouse button when you're outside, or your center mouse button, I believe it is, you have the speed tools there for cutting and removing things. I wonder what that was. That was an awful big movement. Oh, whoa, there we are at the dock. Yeah, so it did work, but it looked like it hit it, actually. So we might move that over a little bit. I bet you that's what it was the loco hitting the dock. So we definitely don't want to be coming in there super fast. This one we're clearing, so I think we'll just have to move over just a little bit. That's not too bad. And then it's going to be about whether we clear the hut there at the end is going to be the other question mark. I guess going to have to actually. Whoa. Alright, that's good. Alright. Hit the brakes. Cool. You know what? I think I want more of that just for safety. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna turn around and make sure everything works here. That we're still getting a decent load, though. We've had the cars here. We've been, to the depot, I don't know, probably 1,000 times. So that's actually working. We already know that's working. Cranes are clean, but still working with the Class 125. That thing is so big. And it's so cool to actually have in the game. Just a monster-sized logo. But I think what I'm going to do here, just based on, whatever. Got a lot of cars here, so I think I'll turn around and load those up. And then I'll be right back with you. Alright, and there we are. I have the whole train loaded up and ready to go. Might as well take a run through the caboose here. Haven't actually been through a caboose in a while. Great look. One thing I do have to say, it'll be cool. We get some seats in these someday, or like our guy could. I mean, you can always just stand there, but it would be kind of cool if we could sit in some seats here and there along the way, passenger cars and whatnot. But as you can see, everything here loaded up, ready to go. I wouldn't doubt that that's already in the plan somewhere along the line. But there we go. Lots of logs, as you can see. Should be a whole pond full of them if we can get them down there intact. So one thing I did turn around and do is while it was loading up the train there, I did turn around and go down and put a telegraph booth by the switch. I think that's going to be a thing more for this setup too, is putting, if you got a switch out in the middle of nowhere, you might as well put a telegraph booth there. Alright, looks like we are going to have to throw some coal in here. Nice thing is we have coal now that the wood rick and the wood the wood depot don't have wood already stocked in them. Kind of nice just to be on to the coal locomotives, and I'm sure these ones hold quite a bit of coal, so won't be running out of stuff anytime soon on this one. So that's kind of nice. There we go. That hit the bell. I suppose this is going to be a whole different animal. This is going to be quite a bit of weight. 18 cars loaded up and rolling. It's actually handling it pretty good. Seems like it's taking right off. We're not going crazy. Alright, that should be enough of that. Did put in a gigantic, well, it's not gigantic, I shouldn't say that. It's a rather large loop is what we put in out here. Alright, let's see if we get that bell to shut off or if it's old and broken. Did turn around and put a couple holding tracks on the interior there. Hopefully we can get this big long stack onto the one, and then we'll have another one there for cordwood. So that's kind of going to be our holding for these industries here. Is going to be the idea there. Probably not going to have like a super yard anywhere, as we're going to do obviously pretty long stacks of cars and just kind of try to see how much we can get away with the new locomotive. So until it can't pull no more, we're going to see how big of runs we can get in to each industry. Hopefully kind of just tagging them down in one drop, one stop drops. That's going to be the idea, if we can pull it off. Obviously, you're probably not doing 1,000 coal in one run, regardless if the new cars or not. But we are going to go ahead and throttle things up for sure and see what we can get. That's just going to be the plan for this railroad. Big map, going big. Nah, I'm going to turn around and fill around. Long way to running some of these runs. Want to be trying to make some progress and get things done and expand, that's for sure. We will add in a bunch of locomotives and obviously tons of rolling stock along the way. Gonna end up with bigger numbers on this layout for sure. The old NG Railroad is stepping it up this go around. Probably chop that. Probably actually apply some brakes, because this thing, I suppose, is going to be an unstoppable train pretty much once it hits the hill. I don't know. I'm anticipating it being unstoppable. Grades on this are all between 2.5. Well, I can't say all between. Nothing goes over 3%, right? So nothing too crazy. We probably could have gone steeper and have just run more reasonable size loads too. Would have been an option. I don't know. Definitely going to be multiple ways to play this map. This first, pathfinding mission is going to be about trying to keep it pretty chill and definitely run large trains. That's kind of the idea. Like, that is a proper freight train back there, actually. Looking good. Doing its thing. Still has plenty of brakes, so that's good to see. Worried about nothing there, probably. This engine, great tractive effort, it looks like. Great brakes. Good look. Just a big, chunky, space taken up locomotive. It's awesome. Could not be happier with a new locomotive to come into the game. It's great. I know some people have always expressed a concern too big a locomotive will break the game, but I think it just kind of opens up the window, and then you always get the option of, if you don't want to run the big honking locomotive, you definitely don't need to. But those who actually want to run big, huge locos, big trains, gotta say, it's that, I still find it way easier to load a smaller train Loading a train like this, especially at one player, is not necessarily the greatest, especially the first time. I mean, now I got car markers up, obviously, for this one, so it's going to make it easier going into the future. And we definitely won't have to run this load a ton, but where it's a longer run, you know, get her done. One and done is definitely going to be nice. Happy with the way that the short rail came out looking along the side there. It's another great look off into the map. Just stunning views. There is the sawmill off in the distance. Chop some brake here, get back to rolling. Sawmill off in the distance there, and somewhere along up in there you can get a look at the water. Yeah, I don't know what you want to call it. The water, whatever. It's the water stop, the pump house is what I call it. But the water well, if you will, I guess. But that's over there too. Had not laid track to that yet. We did end up sticking in the track there. If you saw when we went by with the wheat farm, is just kind of started. Definitely not in there. Haven't run anything there yet. Not planning on starting it with that too super soon, but we'll see because we are already kind of there. So we'll just, have to see what it comes. As things go, if we run into some complications, we might do some of the more sidetrack smaller stuff along the way. Not totally sure. Figured it, originally the idea was to at least get to a wood start so that we would have wood and supply for the locomotives, and then we kind of threw that to where we're not so worried about that at this point. So now we could definitely branch out into whatever we like. I just wanted to actually see big trains running on the new map. And after we kind of came to the idea that we were going to commit to running for the Tier 9. Tier 9 was a heck of a grind, I have to say. Trying to do it in one day, especially with just logs, was kind of insane. "27 miles an hour, as I have heard, that is top speed for this locomotive. Hopefully we're not going too fast, because if we dump this thing on its head, we're going to take a day and a half to pick up this loco. So let's actually just chill as we're kind of running through here. Have not had this loco or, delivered a load out here. Have driven Montezuma out here, but have not actually delivered to the pond, which I don't think anything got dropped at the pond at any point. I think we just ran around here, so we're just gonna have to see how this goes. I know we'll be putting in a switch or a direction out to the water off of this line at some point, or probably off of this line, because yeah, there you can see it off in the distance, but I have not done that yet. Subject to change for sure, a lot of this track. Not sure how everything is gonna go. Yeah, that is a proper size train. Not too crazy, but crazy enough. Alright. Let's see if we can get this slowed down to something reasonable and see if I can get everything unloaded. Maybe on the fly. Not sure. Depends on, we do have a little bit of a grade in there, so we're just gonna have to see how it works. It might not. Whoa, that slid way up. Yeah, we're definitely gonna need to give it a little bit of gas though, so is it gonna be enough? Not gonna be enough. Alright, first time at the drop, and you are going to be a trip. It wants to roll backwards. Okay. Might have to adjust a little bit of the grade in here just to keep it to where it's going to roll forward, or we might just drop go in the other direction in the future now that we know what we know here. Alright. Let's see if that's going to work. Or if it's going to start taking off too crazy. There we go. I have to say the reflection off the pond, that is just awesome. Alright, let's see. So far it's working. It's going to be whether the thing's going to be going too fast by the time we actually get everything unloaded. Start dropping them a little soon. Starting to pick up speed now. We might have to back this up and redo the end of it. We'll just have to see how many we get. We're just going to rain logs for now. Yeah, now we're moving. Oh, that's the whole train now. Ho! We got it. Whole pond is full, so now with the it's got obviously some to cut, so all of them are going to fit in there, so that's super cool. We're going to be moving that along. We'll just have to run along here, catch up to our loco. As you can see, we did kind of just do a little nice little roundabout there, or a loop, if you will, around the island. I honestly just thought it kind of, hopefully it didn't hit here. That was the one thing. Okay, we got good. That was going to be close. Knew it. Works. Just kind of like the island out here. This thing actually just looks super cool and wanted to somehow put it in there. And so we did the loop. I know it's probably not prototypical and something that would have been done, but I just thought it was going to kind of look cool. So kind of leaving that in there for now. We'll see. Some things might get altered. That's maybe a little sharper than it needs to be, but everything does seem to be coming through there decently enough. So we'll go ahead and set the well, I guess what we should give it is one more. Alright, nice, sweet. Turn around and got that in. Let's just go ahead and double check everything's full there, and the pond got tons of stuff in it. Take a little bit of a look around here at the sawmill location. Stock location, obviously this one being the stock map. Sun absolutely looks gorgeous coming up over the water like that. Reflections, the island, the whole thing. Just, oh, the little caboose out there looks cool too. So there you go. But with that one, we're going to call it a win. Say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.